What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're doing my best of end of year series that I always do in December, and right now we are going to cover what I believe to be the best Middle Eastern, affordable Middle Eastern fragrances to come out this year. Now, I didn't get every single release, just like with the designers and niche and so on. I didn't get every single thing, but I did get a good bit, and these were my favorites. Some of these were sent to me, some of these I purchased, but all of them, at least in my opinion, are damn good and deserve to be here. So let's talk about them. Stay tuned. For those of you that saw the live stream where I did the first impressions unboxing that involved this fragrance, you saw it literally stop me mid-sentence. It is Lattafa's Bade'e Sublime. Basically Hawaiian punch and rose. Shout outs to my guy Dedrick for coming up with that analogy. I think it's perfect. Smells like fruit punch and rose. Plum, apple, fruity, Turkish rose smell. Phenomenal performance. A little feminine leaning, of course. But like I said, it's that simple. Fruit punch plus rose. This is a beautiful release. And everything they've put out so far in this line has been a phenomenal fragrance. In the realm of Khair's Juicy Apple or something like that. I've never smelled the original, but I'll tell you what, Lattafa's, it just as a standalone, this is a phenomenal fragrance that when it first dropped, you could get it from Fragrance Buy for like 36, I think I paid. Now when it pops up, it's right around 30 or less, in the 20s. It's a steal at that price point. This is a very, bang for your buck value fragrance and performance, and just a beautiful, rich, fruity smell that admittedly is not gonna be for everyone. But for any of you that like rose fragrances, this is probably the best fruity rose fragrance I've smelled in a long time. Such a great release for them in 2023. It's Lattafa's Bade'e Sublime. Now, this was a hype magnet when it first got announced, and I do think it was a great release for this year. I'm still torn on, do I like original more than this? We're talking about Rasasi Hawas, but Hawas Ice, released for this year, a great idea from them. Performance is really good. The mint isn't overdone, so if you're looking for a super minty fragrance, this ain't it. But it does have a little bit of minty freshness, still a beautiful, slight bubblegum, aquatic type of fragrance. This is more like a minty fresh Invictus Aqua than Hawas is like Invictus Aqua, because I've long said Hawas smells more like Invictus than Invictus Aqua. Now this came around, maybe people agree with me more, because this smells so much more like Invictus Aqua. So much more. Beautiful fragrance. Like I said, really, really good performance. Not quite the monstrosity beast performer that the original Hawas is, but very strong stuff. Lasts a really long time. Like I said, it smells like a fresh bubblegum, citrus, aquatic, light hit of mint. You get some fruitiness here. It still has, it retains the plum from Hawas. You get a clean, musky, woodsy smell as it dries. It's just really good stuff. I actually pre-ordered this one when it came around. I was one of the many that pre-ordered this. Think about that. We're pre-ordering random affordable Middle Eastern fragrances now, which this wasn't super affordable at first. That was a lot of people's complaint. But when it pops up, it's a much better price point now. But yeah, I sure did pay like 70 bucks for this. Don't regret it at all. Damn good fragrance. One of the better releases of the year, in my opinion. Rasasi Hawas Ice. Now, Paris Corner did their thing here. It's a pistachio ice cream, well, pistachio gelato fragrance. Tomato ice cream gelato. It's Khair. I was told the H is silent. Khair Pistachio from Paris Corner. This is a boozy, spicy pistachio ice cream smell on the top. It's weird that it's that combination. And then there's a beautiful minty tone from some geranium and fresh florals. This is such a good fragrance. It's gourmand, but not overdone. It's creamy. It's a little powdery. There's a whipped cream accord. There's a cotton candy accord. There's all this playful, fluffy, sweet, minty freshness to this scent profile with great performance. This is such a great release. You see how I perked up when I sprayed that in the air and smelled it. This is a fun fragrance. Perfectly unisex. I think it definitely leans feminine. You gotta like stuff like this because I get the cotton candy smell, I get the whipped cream smell, I get the pistachio gelato smell, I get this sweet rum, I get cinnamon, I get mint, I get jasmine. I get all kinds of nuances and notes throughout this one. It's a pretty busy fragrance, but I don't mean it in a negative way, and performance is phenomenal. I think this is such a good release. Such a good release. Paris Corner really stepped their game up this year. They have a few fragrances in this video, and this is the first one we're featuring because arguably it was their best release of the year, at least of the ones I tried. Again, that's Paris Corner. This is Khair Pistachio. Let me get it to focus real quick. There we go. Moving on. Next is one that I just recently got, and it is a beautiful powdery vanilla that I've been hearing rumblings about being relatable to Invictus Victory Elixir. A little bit sure, but I don't get the earthy patchouli smell and the dark smokiness that has in here. Maybe a little bit of it, but I think that's the biggest difference here. But the powdery vanilla definitely has that in the warm amber. We're talking about from Khadlaj Perfumes. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce the first word. Epoque? Artistique? I'm sure I butcher that every time I say it, but I just recently got this one. This is my favorite of the 4 in the collection. This is so good. So good. I would say in the realm of Invictus Victory Elixir, but not the same fragrance because of the darker nuance difference. But there's definitely a distinguishable similarity. But performance here is great. I think this is a bit more sensual than something like that. Like I said, I just recently got it and started spending time with it, and it's immediately my favorite Khadlaj Perfumes release of the year. Like I said, it's part of a collection of 4, and this was hands down my favorite of the 4. This is the one I've been randomly spraying on my arm and just enjoying. If you like powdery vanilla, this is a very beautiful, warm, slightly resinous feeling powdery vanilla fragrance with great performance. I mean, that seems to be an ongoing trend with most of these Middle Eastern fragrances. They perform really well for the money, and that's very attractive to a lot of consumers. I totally get it. I'm a consumer myself. This is a good one. This is one I would strongly encourage you checking out. If you like powdery vanillas and you don't want to spend a lot of money, the quality here is really good too, and this is like sub $40 price point. This is some good stuff. Again, from Khadlaj Perfumes, this is Epoque Artistique. Now with this next one, I literally this is the original in the decant right here, just recently tried Arabian's Tonka, and it makes me appreciate Paris Corner's Noir Darabi that much more because they nailed this. Sugary, sweet oud, beautiful fragrance, a little hint of patchouli, but that's the main thing. It's a sugary, sweet oud smell, crazy strong. The quality here is actually pretty good, not too far off from the original that it's cloning. They did a great job here. It's in their Pandora Scents line from Paris Corner. This is really good. I actually did an individual review on this one. It's addictive if you like the Montal Mancera style ouds with literally a sugarcane sweet note. This is special. Vanilla tonka bean smell as well. It's not just sugary sweet. Like I said, a slight earthy nuance from some patchouli that's not super earthy, a little creamy if anything. See, I can't stop pulling the cap and smelling it because this is really good stuff. I think they nailed it. Just like I said earlier, Paris Corner really stepped things up this year, and I think this is one of their better releases. I mean, no two ways about it. This is in their Pandora Scents line. This is Noir Darabi. And we're back to Lattafa, and we're back to that Bade'e oud line with Honor and Glory. Yes, they dropped 2 bangers in this line. This is kind of like pineapple upside down cake with spice and turmeric, a little bit of woody nuance as it dries. Kind of smells like, once I heard this, I couldn't unhear it and not smell that. A little bit of Hachivat meets a little bit of Ani, like a hybrid of Nishane fragrances. Not exactly that, but I definitely get nuance of both with the vanilla, the spice, the earthy green tones, the woodiness, the fruitiness in the top from the pineapple. I do get all of those things. Phenomenal performance. There's an argument for this being possibly the best affordable Middle Eastern fragrance release of the year. This isn't ranked, and this would have made a strong case for #1 if it was. But, I mean, obviously, the white ceramic look to the bottle with the gold hints is beautiful, but that's not what's most important. What's most important is this scent profile. It is a beautiful smell, of course, as with most of their fragrances, especially in this line, monster performer, because I know that's a huge deal for a lot of people. I get it. Nothing subtle about this fragrance. Has a strong gourmand facet to it. Like I said, smelling like pineapple upside down cake, the turmeric vanilla pineapple kind of thing they have going here. It's really good. It's spiced without being overspiced. I think it actually leans a little more on the masculine side than it does the feminine side, but perfectly unisex. Such a great release. Bade'e Al Oud, Honor and Glory. Oh, Paris Corner. Like I said, they stepped it up this year. One of the best smelling clones I've ever put my nose on, because I have 5 ml of the original, which is mind-blowingly good. YSL Baby Cat. Makes me appreciate the clone more. Because yes, there is a gap, a noticeable gap in quality, but the scent profile is nailed down here with Paris Corner's Emir Rifaaqat. This has gotten a lot of hype in the last few months, and it strongly deserves it. Pink pepper, black pepper, smoky vanilla cedarwood combo. So intoxicating, so beautiful. Another one that leans a little masculine, but perfectly unisex, sensual, intoxicating fragrance. Easily one of the best scent profiles ever. Like I said, it's a more affordable take on Baby Cat. Baby Cat's damn near a masterpiece. I need a bottle of that at some point, but I gotta say this is about as close as it's gonna get. I haven't tried anybody else's interpretation of it, but Paris Corner totally nailed the scent profile, and it doesn't smell like a super cheap alternative to it. Obviously, when you put them side by side, it's like, okay, this one's gonna be the more affordable option, but it's not, like I said, not a wide margin gap in quality, but noticeable enough when you smell what they used in that private blend versus Paris Corner. But you know, take nothing away from them. They really did their thing with this. This is a great fragrance, one that, like I said, it's gotten a ton of hype in the last few months, and it's totally well deserved. It's one of the better releases that I've picked up this year. It's beautiful. If you like peppered spice, smoky vanilla, and woods, that basically sums this up. You might want to check it out. Paris Corner Emir Rifaaqat. Speaking of vanillas, this might win an award for like one of the coolest bottles as far as the affordable price point. This smells like Ani. It's Fragrance World's Spectre Ghost. This had a ton of hype this year too, but I love the bottle. So you have this thick base frosted glass with this bullet shooting into the side. Let me get it to focus. There we go. You have the end with the firing pin and everything, and the hammer for where the hammer hits for the bullet casing sticking through here. It's just a very unique bottle. Cap clicks strongly into place. They have a beautiful pressurized atomizer, and it smells great. The difference that I noticed versus Ani is a richness, slight quality difference, obviously, but the original is much richer than this. But for the 30 some odd bucks this goes for, performance is above average. It's not super long lasting. Like, I get great performance out of Ani. This gets pretty close. I did a full review on this one as well, but it has that nice benzoin, effervescent, bright, almost boozy like, warm and spicy, slightly unique woody vanilla smell. Beautiful fragrance. Absolutely beautiful fragrance. I think this was a great option for a lot of people to pick up this year. It's still a great option for people to pick up. And it shined. It shined for sure. From presentation to scent profile to accuracy of what it was going for. It's a great pickup, and it deserves to be in the video. Again, that's Fragrance World's Spectre Ghost. I kind of look at this one as like the third version of Apex. It's almost like Apex Eau Fraiche, because it's got the fruitiness of the Parfum. It's fresher than both the Eau de Parfum and the Parfum. It's like more of a fresh green than it is super earthy like the other two. This is from Paris Corner. This is Emir Vertex. I think this was an excellent drop for them. Now, it doesn't perform anywhere on close to Apex, EDP, and Parfum, but the scent profile, again, I say this is more inspired by almost like a third version or a second flanker to the original, if you will. Nice and fruity, juicy, fresh green, still a little earthy, has an herbal tone to it, smoky and woodsy. It's like Apex Eau Fraiche. It really is. When you compare it to the other two, you'll totally get where I'm coming from with calling it Eau Fraiche. It's not just some weak junk or anything. I get like 6 hours out of it. The other two are beasts, monster performers. So calling it the Eau Fraiche, and it's fresher than the other two, you totally get it if you have all three and you could compare them, trust me. Great release from them. If you like fresh greens, not too earthy, smoky, dry, and woodsy, beautiful fruity pineapple, apple, citruses, things like that at the top. It's a variety of things in the top. This is some good stuff. Really good stuff. I go back to Paris Corner, did a great job this year. Better than most years. I have older stuff from them that's pretty good. But their newer stuff is, I think, their best stuff. Great option here. Paris Corner's Emir Vertex. And we're going to finish this video out with another one from Lattafa that came out early in the year and got a ton of hype. Had a ton of hype, and it's good stuff. It's basically spicier Sedley. It's Maahir Legacy Silver, the big horse head, odd-shaped bottle that's fingerprint magnet, mirror reflective. This is good stuff. So you get the minty tone, the juicy grapefruit, you get the fresh spice, the aromatic lavender, the ambroxan, the musk, the woods. Like, it smells like, very much like Sedley, just spicier. I find the spices are enhanced a bit. Good stuff. If you like Sedley, you will like this. It's very close. Like I said, just a little bit spicier. Beautiful everyday scent. Will definitely pull some compliments. It's not a guarantee you'll get a compliment, but if you've ever gotten compliments out of Sedley, you'll get compliments out of this because, like I said, it's pretty damn close. One of the better releases from Lattafa. It totally deserves a spot here. It's not necessarily number one. It's just the last one that we're talking about here today, but there's some that will argue it's their number one because it's such a versatile fragrance. This is probably the most versatile fragrance of the 10 choices in this video. I would strongly encourage you checking this out. If you don't want to spend Sedley prices and you want a very similar experience, admittedly, as with all of these, for ones that are similar to certain fragrances, some are kind of stand on their own, but you want to go after the originals if you want the ultimate experience as far as the scent profile and the quality, but a lot of these are going to get you there pretty close for much less money, and that's the case here. This gets you pretty close for much less money, and it deserves a spot on the list. It's absolutely worth checking out. Basically Sedley on a budget for the most part. It's Maahir Legacy Silver from Lattafa. Well, that's my 10. Some of you will agree with my 10, some of you won't agree with my 10, but it's my 10, my opinions for my taste. There's links down below if you want to check out any of these. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe because I do appreciate all the feedback. And I love hearing from you guys. Of these, what have you tried? Do you agree? Are these some of your favorites? Do you have other ones that released that were just like, nah man, this is the ones for me? Like this specific one, and maybe I haven't tried them. Like I said, I didn't get everything that dropped this year. It's an endless cycle of buying for me when it comes to reviewing fragrances, from affordable stuff to design, mid-level designers on up to niche. I'm always picking up fragrances and always talking about them here on this channel. And I appreciate you guys for watching. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the 10 that I featured in this video and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.